Level 60 is when you finally unlock all the ship parts. So what we're gonna do is we are going to go to Neon, and we're gonna buy all the parts that we need for our sweet end game ship. I've been grinding towards that for a little bit, and now we're finally there. Don't know where Neon's at. It is here, the Bully system. On Bully Alpha in Neon. Alright. Stroud-Eklund is tucked away between the Emporium and Seagart's Outfitters. This build is within 2 parts of maximum by the time we're done with the whole thing. So just be prepared. It is pretty substantial. So we're going to take a Claymore II. We're going to gut it and rebuild exactly what we need. The reason why I'm modifying this ship, I just want the cockpit. I know you can buy it, I believe, on Titan or something like that, and selling off all the rest of the parts will help offset a little bit of my cost. There we go. I'm not gonna use this landing bay, but for what I want right now, it will work. The parts I need are, for the shield, you definitely want to get the Assurance SG 1800 shield generator. It gives you max health of 1600 for the shield. That's base health. Obviously, any upgrades that you have to your shield will increase it from there. For the fuel tank, I think we're gonna go with the H40 Atlas Helium-3 tank. For the engines, I am gonna go with the Poseidon DT230s. So you go with 3 of those, that'll max out your engines. I gotta start out with 6. I know that's gonna make my mobility pretty low, but that's what we're gonna start out with there. For the Grav drive, we are going to use the J52 Gamma Grav drive. Now for our reactor, we have 2 different options here, both 40 power. The SF40, its repair rate is 5.8 and the health is 116. The Pinch 8Z reactor has a higher repair rate and higher health. Also got more mass, but we're gonna go with that just for the higher health and higher repair rate. So that gives us 40 power. Now to weapons. I like having 4 Nullifier 1750 suppressors. And of course, I like particle beams. So we are going to use the Obliterator 250 MEV Auto Alpha Beam. So you'll want 3 of these. And you go to flight check and assign those. I like them on 1. And I like on 0. I like these on W1. Alright. Final weapon. I like 3 280C missile launchers. So there's all the weapons: fuel tank, shield, reactor, grav drive, storage, and engines. So from there, I've got to add some Habs, and we're just going to cobble this together. Then we're going to fly it back to just one of my outposts to be able to assemble the whole thing with all the rest of the parts. Stroud Battle Station. I really, really like the looks of this on the interior. So, Stroud Battle Station 2x2. And I really like the Stroud Armory 2x1. These are obviously just strictly cosmetic. I like the Nove Galactic living quarters. I have 4 of those. Really for the passenger slots. Now all I gotta do is cobble this monster together. There, it's no longer unattached. Flight check. Too few landing gears. And we need a docker. Forgot about the docker. We do not have the docker we want. So we're gonna have to get that at our home base. Oh, these are the landing gears we want, so that's good. And we need 10 of these landing gears. 10. Alright. It is super, super ugly, but it will fly. Alright. We're not going to fly it, but the only thing that we really wanted to do with this thing is get it put together so that way we can actually save and quit and go to another area. So far, our cost is 800K. That's expensive, but that's all right. It is going to be a very, very sweet ship when we're done. At Polov, and there's Hopetown. So from here, Neon, we want to go to Hopetown.
Swing by HopeTech Star Yard and see if they have anything interesting for sale.
You should inspect. Need some work done? Okay, no problem.
That is all we came here for. Yeah, I don't know. I like that landing bay. Alright. Well, sometimes modules randomly detach. How you do that, figure that out, is double click on the ship. It will highlight all parts attached to the one you double click on, and it'll tell you what's missing. Alright. Should be able to build all the rest of my home base. Alright. We are here, and it is time to finish this beast. When we are done with it, it will be beautiful and functional. Even though the maneuverability is probably going to be lower than what some of you like. There we go. Alright, let's get started. Now we have our 4 Nove Galactic living quarters. We are going to add in the rest of our Nove Galactic stuff. We've got 4 Nove Galactic living quarters, 1 Nove Galactic all-in-one berth, 2x1A, and a Nove Galactic science lab. And the Deimos Workshop. And 2 Deimos companionways, 1x1s. Alright, there's all the base parts. First thing we're going to do is kind of set up the base for this whole thing. What we end up having here is our landing gears in an odd configuration here, but you'll see why. Easiest way to probably do it is flip them first, then just copy them. There we go. And then I'm going to do that. Now we go to structural. Pieces we're going to need the most of are going to be these guys here. The easiest way for me to place one of those down that direction, push over on your keypad, and one of those down that direction, so we can have them off to the side and we can just grab them whenever we need to. And then you can copy it and reorient it as needed. Also, as far as parts, you end up using a lot of the Nova bracers. So I'm going to put one of those there. I do a lot of drop down glitching through this whole build, which you'll see. Start out with, I'm going to put a piece, I'm going to put a Stroud Cap A. There we go. So this piece has to be connected to some other point, so that way these two snap points share and I'm not connected through these two snap points. That way this snap point to the side here is free for me to add this piece in. Now that might be a little confusing, but now I can do that, and now everything is properly connected. Now we mirror that on the other side. All right, well, we just fiddled with it until it accepted what we were doing. I don't know how to describe it any way other than that. And crazy enough, it is sharing the same snap point, which is right there. But it's working. All right, now we have these two in place. We've got 2 landing gears on the back. We've got 3 landing gears on the side, 3 landing gears on the side. That gives us a total of 10, which will handle the weight that we're requiring this thing to handle. We are going to drop this hab straight down there. Now these habs are not for actual internal cosmetics. They are strictly for passenger slot space. So I just duplicated them, did a drop down glitch to add those in, and there we go. Now we are going to add in one of these on each side, drop it in. There you go. Those are now dropped in. This part always gives me trouble trying to find it. There we go. Add in a nose cone. Each side. Actually going to go further back, but we're not going to mess with that yet. Now we need one of these cowlings. I mean, we're not ready to drop this one in because we need to build the other layer, but we're going to have it ready and available for when we do, because it's actually going to go right about here. And I am gonna grab a HopeTech bumper. There we go. Same thing. We're gonna need that in a little bit. By the end of it, the underside looks really clean. Entire thing really looks clean. That's our first layer. For the next layer, it is going to be a whole lot of drop-in. Next piece that we have, going to be a whole lot of these. And a whole lot of drop-down glitching as well. That's the start of it. And I kind of want to save these off to the side. I'm going to be using a whole lot of them. Add that in. Copy this guy. Here's where I drop in more living quarters. And these serve two purposes. Living quarters give me more passenger space. But beyond passenger space, that probably would have made dropping this in easier, but they not only give me more passenger space, but they give me a snap point on the outside of the landing gears, and they make the landing gears look consistent for what I'm looking for. So, now that I have that in place, add a bracer there. Drop in that piece. Copy that. Drop it to the back. Now you can kind of see the shape starting to come together. Copy that. Drop that one over there. Add 2 cowlings to the back. But that's the basic of the bottom of that side. So now we're going to move over to bottom of the other side. I do the same kind of thing. And I drop this in. Nope. So we gotta go underneath. Drop one up. Drop one over. Raise it in. Delete all of those spares. Now you can see I have snap points on the outside. Now, you rinse and repeat, just the opposite direction. Have that there, drop it down. Got that in there. All right, it's starting to come together. This is where we have an opportunity to connect everything. One of my 204 cargo hold. Add it in there. Come on, grab on. This is not going to be the final design, but I'm going to drop this in. Aha! No problem. That goes there. The Nova Galactic goes on top of it. And that goes right there. Now we have our entire base connected. We have our landing bay, our Nova Galactic Science Lab. That Deimos 1 by 1 goes there. So here comes a tricky piece. No more or less tricky than what we've already done. But we're going to add in a couple cosmetic pieces. And again, I'm going to kind of put this up there just so I have a quick copy part. Go. Drop that down like that. And do it again on the other side. That should be that layer all the way done. Now, not sure the easiest way to drop this one in. What we might try to do is actually snap it before we drop it. There we go. Well, we'll worry about that storage later. What you can do you can snap it in below there. That works for me. Alright, reactor and jump drive are attached. Now we grab 3 of these engines, and those directly connect to the reactor and the jump drive. But one layer down, like that. Uh-oh. One step I need to take. These are actually right there. At that height. All at the same height. One partial notch below. So I've got to drop those parts right in there. We're gonna have to go up. And that, how we go up. There you go. Repeat the same thing on the other side, and then get rid of all of that. There we go. Now the engines are in place, and then we've got that in place to hold everything together correctly. Gotta do that. I'm going to drop that down one more time. Drop it. Drop it back. this is where we get to attach this. Wrap it up. Finishes off the bottom of the engine nicely. You have the cross brace in there, but the way I changed things this time, yeah, we've got to leave the cross brace just for that piece. That actually looks okay in the middle of the engine, in my opinion. I think I'm making this overly complicated. But I believe this is what I do. All right. That is way overly complicated to drop that shield there, but that's, this bracer gives this bottom piece a snap point and gives the shield a snap point. So way overly complicated, but it works. Now we got to redo this part. Go. Engines are in place, shields in place. Reactor, Grav drive. Only have one. These placed. That's, could change my design a little bit. I have 1, 2, 3. I think I wanted 6 total. I did make a mistake. Easy one to fix. That, how that goes. And then these will snap there without interrupting with the cabin. So we're gonna do that next. Get those snapped into place. There you go. There's the front of your ship, all properly snapped into place. This companionway is strictly cosmetic, just because I like the way it looks on the bottom of the ship with the HopeTech part in there. But also, mass is a little bit lower, so that's kind of nice too. Well, that kind of points out another error I made. These are supposed to be back there. The whole point of those, to really clean up the bottom, I think. You know, let's do this. Just because setting up that a little bit of a pain. There you go. There we go. That's all fixed. Those are dropped in. Before we do the next layer, we need to drop in our weapons. So that way we can hide those where we want them. For that, you need this spine, the Deimos spine. Gonna attach it right there. And another one right over there. Missile launchers. Next. our Obliterators. So now those are attached. Copy that. Some drop down attachment points. The reason why you have to drop that down is this missile launcher or Obliterator, either side, missile launchers in particular, stick out just a little bit, and you need to make sure you have space. For this part, I recommend leaving a couple up here because you're gonna have to do a couple other drop downs. So that drop that into place. Don't worry, that'll all be covered over, or almost all of it. That side, this is where I put some of these guys. Right. Do you want a Nova Galactic all-in-one berth? I know I had one of those here. Drop that in. We already have our science lab to help put our cockpit on. And then I selected the Deimos Workshop just because I really like the interior look of each of these. The all-in-one has a galley in it. Science lab has research station and pharmacy station. And then this has all the rest of the workbenches. So between these three, you will have all of the workbenches in the entire game at this point. So that's really nice. Drop a Deimos companionway right there, and then we're going to drop storage right there. So total base storage before I add the 620 shielded will be 9,200. Yeah, so make sure that's dropped down. One thing I think I forgot is the fuel. I don't know where to hide that, so we're just gonna hide it somewhere. Alright, that'll work. We hid the fuel right underneath this guy here. That should be it for that layer. Once we get our shielded cargo holds, the shielded cargo holds are gonna go here and here. That's where those belong. We can add those in later on. I'll make sure and add in a small clip of how to do that. Now, we can copy these. And we're gonna do this side now. Okay, so unlike the missile launchers, the Obliterators do not stick near as far out. There we go, there's that. is that. That's everything for this layer, other than I recommend placing a shielded cargo hold dropped in there and right there. So next layer is going to be a fun one. Drop in your Stroud battle station and your Stroud Armory. They're strictly cosmetic. There's our docking bay. We can now add in this part. And we're not going to do a drop-down glitch. What you do is you'll click on the part, flip it back, and then hit escape. And that will allow you to drop that part right in there. It's not necessary, it just, I don't know, it makes a nice flow connection on the bottom there. Maybe it's a little overboard, probably is, but I like the way it looks. Alright, for this next layer, now get to start adding in some of the finishing touches. That's that side. Drop that down in. Honestly, you can just leave that one there. Drop that in. Delete both of those. Copy this one. Raise it up a layer. Drop one down. Copy that. Raise it up a layer. And drop it down. I really like what this does. It frames in the engines on the back end. It looks pretty sweet. So there's other places that you can hide cargo. I think the 92 plus the additional 600 that I'm going to get is going to be plenty. Now I'm going to add in these pieces. Just copy the cowlings that you already have on the back, and might as well just finish that out. Now we're gonna do that flip glitch. Oh. Alright. Well, we might have to do this. Done it for this part before. Can't really drop this one down. Maybe we can. Give it a try. I know what I was trying to do. I would really like to be able to add in another one of these, but there's no snap point. I mean, I could move the field somewhere else, I suppose. Try to do that real quick. Take a different approach, though. Do that. And then there we go. That's how I want it to look on the back end. Need to do the drop down glitch to get that piece in place, then put this into place, and then do a flip glitch to to get that one snapped into place. And that's how you get the finalized back end to the ship. That is this layer finished. Now on to the very last layer. Now we need to add in two of those. We're gonna drop in our EMs, our nullifiers, right there. We could change it up. We could do some different parts here than what I originally did, but I like what I've got. So as soon as we can find it, there we go. The HopeTech parts. So these drop down there like that. And see, you can still see the nullifiers, but they actually look like the cool parts of an engine. That's kind of what I'm going for there. Now I just need a couple more of these. Oop. The other direction though. I need this guy. Just raise it up. There we go. Drop down glitch. Drop down glitch. Drop that down. Can I just flip that one? There we go. Flip it around. Raise it up. Drop that in. That guy in. Another Nove Cowling. Just repeat on the other side. Oh, you don't need to drop that in. I just go drop down crazy. That one in. Delete that. Raise it up. Drop that in. Order of operations on that one, you have to drop this in first and then you can drop in the Nova Bracer. Another one of these guys. You can see it'll still snap there. It'll do a nice job hiding our shield. This looks cleaner. So we're gonna go with that. These do not interfere with inside of the ship. Any negative noticeable way. So that's really nice. That's the finished ship. You know, I don't mind low mobility. I kind of like high storage. This is definitely a cargo hauler. Now for color scheme. Kind of like main hull to be dark gray. I don't know. Mess around with the colors. I'm sure you can come up with something better than what I have. There you go. I think that's a pretty good looking ship. Enter in through the med lab. Science lab. Here is the all-in-one berth with the galley. Don't mind this over here. That's don't mind that guy. That guy's just for passenger space. Over here, I have the workshop. All the other workbenches. Can either go up here into the armory, or you can take my favorite part, the stairs, up to the cockpit, and into here. So here's the armory. This is my favorite armory. And then you have the battle station. And the cockpit. First launch, not too bad. The last thing I forgot to do was name the ship. I think I'm gonna call it Mr. Scarab. Yeah. This is how you name your ship. You go to any ship technician, or I like going to my landing pad at my complex, go to view and modify ship builder, light check. So on the keyboard that is C, and then you'll see down here it says rename ship. This was an ecliptic Claymore. It is no longer an ecliptic Claymore. It is now Mr. Scarab. That's right. Mr. Scarab to you. Confirm. Escape. And accept. There we go. Now we have Mr. Scarab. And that is how you rename your ship.
Suspect.
Oh, look at that. All right. Well,
The ecliptic are down. Thanks for weren't expecting so many ecliptic vessels. Most ships would have bugged out and left us with this mess. But you, total class act.
I know.
Any way we can repay you?
With money.